Welcome back to Fourth and Troll Fantasy.
What is going on, Fourth and Trollers? Welcome back to Fourth and Troll Fantasy, the most entertaining fantasy football show on the planet. My name is Noah Selby.
And I'm Wes Selby.
And today we are talking about hyped up players. There's been a few players that have been getting a lot of hype early in the offseason for fantasy football in 2025. And we're here to tell you if that hype is real or if they're a little bit overrated. We might need to take a step back here. It's going to be a good time. We're going to jump straight into it. Before we do, make sure you're following us on all our socials. Everything's linked down below. Join our Discord. Got a lot of fun stuff going on over there and good conversation. And we will jump to it with Ashton Jeanty, running back for the Las Vegas Raiders. Wes, he's got an ADP right now, consensus across the platforms, of RB4. He is going at the 109. What do we think here? Is he being a little overrated or is this real?
Absolutely not. This is real. This is real. If I'm not mistaken, the only player in college football history that had more rushing yards than what Ashton Jeanty just did is Barry Sanders. If I'm not mistaken, Barry Sanders is the only player in history that ran for more yards than Ashton Jeanty just did. And Jeanty had 2,600 rushing yards. This is 100% correct. I don't want to go on too long, but look at what Bijan did when all the odds were stacked against him. With the hype we had for Bijan, this is such a better fit for Jeanty. I mean, we've already talked about it, but there's a case to be made that he could be the first running back taken off the board, and I have no problem with that. This is absolutely real. This is not an overreaction. He is 100% a first-round draft pick.
Yeah, I completely agree. Just a quick reminder, Marshawn Lynch had 4 straight top 6 running back seasons with Pete Carroll in Seattle. So let's not forget that. Jump into the next guy here, another young running back. It is Bucky Irving of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, second-year running back, currently going as the RB9 at the 210 spot in drafts. I think this is fair. I think this is accurate. I think this is a proper rating. I think he's safely a top 12 running back this season. But I would rather have him as my RB2 if I could. I think that's where I'm at. I think he's going to be awesome. I think he's going to be the lead back on a good, consistent offense. But I don't know if I love the price. What do you think?
I'm so sick of Bucky Irving, man. I'm so sick of this community. They're so obsessed with him. Get over him. God, he's good. But like, can you guarantee he's top 10? I can't. I can't guarantee he's top 10. 12 seems fine, but like, I agree with you. Like, there are plenty of running backs I would rather have as my RB1. He's a really good RB2, but I think this is a bit of a he's not going to be the RB9 taken. He's going to be like top 5 taken because people love him so much. I feel there's so much of an overreaction to him, but it's fair. It makes sense that he would be around the RB9. So overall, it's not a reach, but golly, get over him. I like him, but
Wow.
gee whiz,
I didn't know
everyone's
that's
so
where you stood.
obsessed with him.
Yeah, he's got people love themselves some Bucky Irving for sure. Let's jump into the
Golly.
next maybe group of players here, I should say, and it is the Bengals star trio: Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. Joe Burrow currently being drafted as the QB4 in the 4th round. Jamar Chase is the consensus 101 right now, as the wide receiver 1, and T. Higgins going at the start of the 3rd round as the wide receiver 12. Where do you land with the Bengals trio here?
This feels like this is obviously one of the biggest setups for disappointment for all of the players like in fantasy, because the expectation from their paydays is that they pretty much have to finish QB1, wide receiver 1, and then Higgins could even be wide receiver 10. Like, they could all be top 10. I think Higgins is the one is at most risk for being overhyped and a bit of an overreaction, but it's hilarious to think you could go Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, and just walk out the door with all 3 of those Bengals running back or Bengals players, and I think you'd probably do
And have
very,
a
very
great
well.
team and have like a really
Yeah.
good team. Yeah, that's the funny
I don't
part.
I
Yeah.
don't
So
think most people remember Joe Burrow was like 50 yards short of 5,000 passing yards last season. And it kind of comes down to Higgins' health, but that's where I stand. I think it is fair. I think this is real.
yeah, I think the team is spending a lot of money on these 3 players on offense and very little money on almost any players on defense. So I think these guys, the Bengals front office is just like, defense wins championships, that. Offense wins championships. Let's just spend all our bankroll right here and just kind of go with it. So we'll see what
Ye-
happens. But I do agree. I think all these prices are probably fair and maybe close to where the outcome is. And I don't look at any of them and go, really? That's where they are? I think it's all fair.
Yeah, throw in Gesicki as well. He got paid too, and that helps Joe
Yeah,
Burrow a little bit even more, man. So I think it's fair.
absolutely.
This is real. Good reaction for them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Another young player here we're going to talk about, second-year quarterback Jayden Daniels of the Washington Commanders, currently going as the QB3 in the 3rd round. And I think this is where I'm going to say, yeah, I think this is a little overhyped. I could push back a little bit. And I love Jayden Daniels. I was shouting from the rooftops to stick with Jayden Daniels last year in his second matchup against the Eagles, that you got to stick with your guys. And he absolutely blew it out of the water. It was the QB1 that week with like 40 plus points. So listen, I love Jayden Daniels. He's great. But looking at things, I think I'd probably still take Jalen Hurts over him. I think I might take Joe Burrow over him. I think like it's just in that range of things. But like, I'm in a part of my fantasy life cycle where it's not necessarily the usual, in which I'm kind of like pro drafting a quarterback early this season. So I can't really argue with the price too much, but I think there's just a chance maybe it's not like as insanely incredible as year 1 was.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I feel the exact same way. Same other quarterbacks as well. It's a bit of an overpay, but I understand. If he's as good as people think he can be, sure, but there are a couple other quarterbacks I'd rather take over Daniels.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. Next guy here we're going to talk about is Brock Bowers, currently being drafted at the 111 as the tight end 1. And let me tell you, I do not care. I'm completely fine with this draft price if you want it. Like, I think the hype is completely fine. I think he's Bowers has been a guy that's been on everyone's radar since his freshman year of college at Georgia. So like, it's not like he came in last year and was like, that's kind of fluky. No, I think people have known for like 5 years that this is the kind of guy he can be. With Geno, new scheme, this might be an even better year for Brock Bowers. And same thing with Jayden Daniels. I'm kind of pro going for those like singular spot positions, those onesie positions early. And I don't think Bowers is an exception there.
It's just so much
It's
for a
so
tight
early.
end.
Like for a
First
tight end to be
round,
your first player, for your first
good
player on your
God.
team is crazy. But
Can you imagine being on the clock and you're like, man, do I take do I take AJ Brown or Brock Bowers? I'm going Brock Bowers. And it's
I
like,
I
I
think I would. I don't,
oh
that's the
my
crazy
gosh.
part.
That's insane. We not learned anything from the last 2 years. Sam
I don't
Laporta
know.
did not help us out. Travis Kelsey the year before was a
Dalton Kincaid.
disappointment.
Oh
So
my gosh.
Kincaid was a
Yeah.
disappointment. Mark Andrews the like first half of the season last year. I get it. It's just I'm not paying first round for a tight end. I can't do that. I'm sitting
That's
on the
fair.
clock and I'm staring at. I mean, well, Jeanty is right there. Speaking of Raiders
That's
players,
true.
man,
That
it's
is
just
true. That's fair.
if he does the exact same as last year, I get it. Exact same. It's possible. I can't
Okay.
spend my first round, even
We'll see.
second round on a tight end.
We'll see. We'll see
Oh,
then. Okay. Next guy we're going to talk about here is Malik Nabers, currently being drafted as the wide receiver 4, going at the 107. What do you think about Nabers, Wes? Because you called your shot last year with him and you crushed it. So where are you at this year?
I think this is fair. I think this feels like he is one of the more reliable wide receivers to take because he proved that he can succeed with literally any quarterback. I expect the Giants offense to have a mix of Russell Wilson and then Jackson Dart about halfway through the season. I expect Dart to get the start at some point, provided health, and we'll see how the season goes. But I can't imagine outside of Neighbors' own injuries that he is outside of the top 10. So I feel this is a fair price for him. And they did not improve any of their pass catchers for this Giants offense. It still runs through him. And so I expect that he can be a first round draft pick and be a top 5 wide receiver. This is not an overreaction.
So disrespectful to Cam Scadaboo. So disrespectful. Wow.
Okay, fine.
Cam Scadaboo is
fine.
going to lead that team in receptions. Watch. No, I'm just kidding.
That'd be
No, I
awesome.
agree. I agree. I do. I think he was a wide receiver 6 with Daniel Jones and Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito. And so, as much as you could maybe want to hate on Russell Wilson, guys, it's an upgrade, and I think he's just he's. I think Malik Nabers is breaking fantasy football. I think that's what's happened because it's just like, oh, you're the exact definition of quarterback proof, and it doesn't even matter. So it's crazy stuff here. But
Yeah.
last guy we're going to talk about, another second-year wide receiver. It is Lad McConkey of the Los Angeles Chargers, the slot machine, being drafted as the wide receiver 11 at the back of the second round at the 209. Listen, I think there's a lot of hesitancy with Lad because good job covering up that Pepsi logo. Not a sponsor. I think there's a lot of hesitancy with Lad because you really want to take a slot wide receiver as your wide receiver 1? I don't know. Okay. Sure, it's might be the hesitancy, but if you're asking me if Lad McConkey's overhyped, I'll tell you, I don't think he's hyped up enough at this point. Truthfully, from week 7 on, for the rest of the year, he was the wide receiver 8 and was on a 17-game pace of 97 receptions, over 1,400 receiving yards, and 8 touchdowns. That would have been the wide receiver 4 last year. So, improved offensive line, improved offense, better run game to help regulate things. I think it's led to the moon. I think this is very fair. I think it's a value.
I need to see how this offseason and the OTAs and training camp reports come out about the involvement of Trey Harris and how many times they're gonna hand the ball off to Marion Hampton, because it feels like it could be. I'm in the camp of the people you said are hesitant because it feels like they're gonna run a lot. It feels like they spent a second round draft pick, just like they did on McConkey, on Trey Harris, who I love. They got a tight end they believe in a
Mhm.
lot. There's a lot of mouths that can be fed to keep him outside the top 10. But if he is the same as what he did just from week 1 and on, then what you say is true. I need to see how the offseason goes. Right now, I can't say it's an overreaction. I just wouldn't spend the price today.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I like myself some Trey Harris too. So just not enough to let him change my mind about a beautiful Lad McConkey. Anyways, all right. That's it. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. Are these players overhyped or are they properly rated? Are they good? Are they even values? Let us know. Drop them in the comments. Like I said before, follow us on all our socials. We're always, able to communicate there and any comments or anything like that. And make sure you jump into our Discord. We're always having a good time in there as well. And we will see you next time. My name is Noah Selby,
And I'm Wes Selby.
and this has been Fourth and Troll Fantasy.